Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we'll be reviewing a Chevy Silverado ZR2 Bison with the additional AEV Upfit package. I just reviewed a GMC Sierra the other week that has this package, but this is the Silverado version. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Chevy here in Park City for giving me some time with this truck. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Powering this truck is a 6.6 liter turbo diesel V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. It puts out 470 horsepower and then 975 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Since we have already reviewed several ZR2s and ZR2 Bisons at that, we're going to focus on the upfit. So first off, they paint not only the hood, but also the roof, as you can see. So this is paint. There is this little piece of vinyl there for the pinstripe, but the hood is actually painted, which gives it a really cool appearance. And you can see it adds to the blacked out grille that this already has. Now, this is built off of a Bison package, so you already have the upgraded bumper from AEV, but on top of that we've got a winch with this as well, and so that's going to add some capability with the truck off-road and gives it a slightly cooler look on-road. But yeah, when you put it all together, it gives the front end of this truck a very aggressive appearance. Now, a big part of this upfit package is the fact that you've got 37-inch tall tires added to the truck. You also have the cool Salta wheels that come with the Bison package. Now, they did have to slightly lift the truck to be able to accommodate this. It does work with the Multimatic shocks. We'll talk about the ride when we drive it. But yeah, look at that. That is definitely cool. And they do slightly lift it in the rear to accommodate for the 37 here in the back. And again, you still have the Multimatic shocks, the leaf springs. They don't have to change anything with the suspension components there because it's a small enough lift that they don't have to do that. But it's big enough to fit the bigger tires and to give the truck a much more aggressive appearance. You can see here on the tailgate also painted black with the pin striping. And then they've added lights to the rear bumper here. Just kind of another cool element of this package. And so, yeah, putting it all together, the exterior of this truck, I mean, the Bison already looks cool, but this is a bit of an upgrade. Now, when it comes to the interior, you still have the normal ZR2 interior with all of the neon and gray throughout. It's the AEV up top. Yeah, really nice trim all over. Nice trim around the steering wheel. You've got a big digital gauge cluster there. Huge infotainment system. And the HD, if you guys are wondering, you can see there at the end, comes with hill descent control and a rear locking diff. It doesn't have a front locker like the half-ton. But yeah, not much to go over there in terms of changes or anything like that. So you guys are obviously going to be curious on price. So you can see that a regular Bison is $95,650, so not a cheap truck by any means. This additional upfit costs $11,999. Similar pricing to the GMC. I forgot to mention it in that video, I think, if I remember right. It does come with some warranty too. But anyways, $111,269 is the total MSRP of this truck, and let's see how it performs. You guys are going on payload 2,700 pounds, and also getting in, you gotta make sure you don't skip pull-up day and don't skip leg day, so you can get yourself into the truck. It's not that bad, but always got to make the jokes. So let's see how this bad boy performs. I already reviewed the GMC version, so I'm excited to see if the Chevy feels any different. And and really it probably isn't going to. The biggest difference that you kind of see with the Chevy versus the GMC is exterior style. And then on top of exterior style, sorry, I'm just resetting these climate controls. The interior, so I think that the Chevy seats are actually more comfortable than the GMC seats. And then I also think that the interior is probably going to hold up better over time with this trim versus the fancy trim that you've got in the GMC, but time will tell on that front. Time will definitely tell. Now this is a big beast, and it feels it. Oh man, this is the thing that's cool about diesel trucks, is they can move oversized tires like it's literally, well, it is kind of their day job, but no struggle. Like, you put 37s on a Jeep or a Bronco and it's like, gotta re-gear it. You put it on, even on a half-ton truck, you put 37s, gotta re-gear it. You put 37s on a diesel and it's like, what 37s? You know what I mean? It's so cool. Now the ride's good. Being a diesel truck, right, it's gonna be a little bit firmer. The thing that's cool about the ZR2 is the fact that they soften up these springs and everything, so that means, yeah, there's less payload. Again, 2,700 pounds with all the AEV kit on 2,500, but hey, that's still more payload than a Ram, so who cares? Does lower payload, but it leads to a softer ride, so that is a big benefit as I see it. Yeah, the ride with this is actually really nice. And people are always curious on tire pressure. Let's see. 55. So it's not super low. A lot of people with a truck like, well, 37s like this and truck like this will sometimes run down to, like, you know, low 40s. I typically, honestly, I'm not a huge ride quality snob. I will run my tires at a higher PSI, not quite in the 50s, but usually, actually sometimes if it gets warm enough, you know, mid to high 40s. And the reason I do that is just for handling. If the tires have a little bit more, you know, too much air pressure is bad, but if you've got a little bit more air pressure, the handling's typically a bit better. And then the other benefit that I see is with fuel economy, right? If your tires are deflated, they're flattened out, right? That's gonna be dragging on the road a little bit more, so you're gonna get worse fuel economy than if they're nice and aired up. Yeah, I really do like how this truck drives. It is quite nice. It's very smooth. And the diesel, it's not just the suspension, it's also the diesel. It's smooth. They did a really good job with that. And Ford's diesels are smooth too. It's Ram that's the diesel's a little bit more abrasive, but it's not bad by any means. A little bit of lag there, actually, surprisingly. More than I would expect. And that's what pedal commander or re-gearing typically helps out with. Ooh. Yeah, it's definitely a big beast. Definitely handles that way. Yeah, this is nice. I love the torque. The torque is so fun. It is so fun. So, to sum things up with this AEV upfit, it's a lot of money, but here's the deal. AEV always makes sure that things are done well, they're done right. That's why they take longer to come out with things compared to a lot of other aftermarket companies. But yeah, there's a price to pay, right? There's a price to pay for warranty coverage, and there is a price to pay for quality. You know, I know people are gonna say, well, I can do that, I can put 37s, you know, without doing all that, and it's like, yeah, fair enough, technically. But is it gonna be as durable, first off? Is it gonna have warranty coverage? And how's the performance gonna be? Because that's the other thing the AEV tests. They actually take the vehicles off-road, like a lot. And so they make sure the systems work well, both on-road and off-road. And so that's kind of the price you're paying. You're paying for someone to do all of the research and all of the testing for you, and to make sure that it's done right, rather than you trying to figure it out yourself after, you know, I see it happen all the time where people buy one lift kit and then another, and then next thing you know, they could have just bought like the high quality one, and spent less money than the 3 or 4 low quality ones that they went through and didn't really get the job done they're trying to get done. So it's kind of my 2 cents on that. Let me know what you guys think about the upfit package. Do you think it's worth it or not? Or do you think that just the regular Bison is the way to go? Because it already has big tires, just 37s. They're bigger, they're cooler.